I didn't mean to wake you up. You go back to sleep.
When did you get here?
Well, I got here just a little while ago. Your mommy called and asked me to come by and take care of you.
Oh, where'd you go?
She went to do some errands, I guess. Honey, did you have a bad dream or anything?
No.
Your mommy told me that, you were talking about Carl last night.
Yeah, he was here.
That must have been very scary for you, wasn't it?
No, he's not scary anymore.
Oh, he's not.
He's not the bad man anymore. He stopped being mean to Mommy.
Well, that's good.
He's my friend. He came to my tea party yesterday, and he's coming again today. Will you come too, Nana?
Oh, of course I will, honey. Of course I will.
That was a fairly simple question, Miss Raines. Did you sleep with Mr. Warren or not?
You don't have to answer that question, Beth.
Technically, counsel is correct. You're not under oath. This whole thing is off the record. And I am not interested in Miss Raines' private life. I am in Mr. Warren's as it affects his position in this office. If you advise your client not to answer, that is your privilege. But as I'm sure you know, she'll only have to answer to another district attorney who may not be as, shall we say, sympathetic as Mr. Warren has been thus far.
Well, on or off the record, forcing her to answer the question is not in my client's best interest.
Mr. Marlar, I am rapidly losing patience, something I rarely do. And believe me, you do not want to see that happen. Miss Raines, for the last time, would you please answer the question?
Griffin, you know what? This is really my fault. I think I shot my mouth off before I really knew
You are
what
shooting your mouth off right now, Mr. Spaulding, something about which I gave you warning. Perhaps you recall.
Yeah, I do, but what I'm telling you is
No move for butts, Mr. Spaulding.
Griffin, come on.
Mr. Spaulding, we are not hanging out in a bar. As long as you're in this room, you will address me as Your Honor. If you address me at all, which frankly, I wish you would not.
Okay, Your Honor. Maybe I'm out of line legally, but...
There's no maybes about it.
Wait, hang on a second here. I thought we said that this was off the record. So if it's off the record, may I please, Your Honor, have a moment of your time?
The meter is running,
Okay.
Mr. Spaulding.
I'll be quick. I just want to try to right the wrong that I've done. I think it's pretty simple. I saw Mr. Warren and my ex-wife together on a number of occasions, and I overheard some conversations, and I just obviously jumped to the wrong conclusion. They, you know, when I think about it, you know, they were talking about the case. It wasn't about any intimacy that happened between them. You know, I just made a mistake and started acting like a jealous husband.
Ex-husband, I believe.
Well, yeah, on paper, but you know how that goes. I think it's probably fair to say that I haven't been completely honest about my feelings. I promised my ex-wife that I would see her through this until the end, and that would be it. Any personal feelings that I had, I promised I would compartmentalize. Well, it hasn't quite worked out that way. I'm not sure that it ever will. But be that as it may, I'm still the one that got her into this mess. And so I think it's appropriate for me to get her out. She did not want me to come here today, but I wanted to be here because I want to make sure that blame ends up where it belongs, and that is very clearly with me.
Are you through, Mr. Spaulding?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're suggesting that I tell the truth, that I tell the whole world that she's
not Riva. She's a clone. That's the truth, Josh. She's a clone.
Cassie, if the truth comes out, it's just gonna make things worse.
Worse than what? Worse than telling your children that their mother has left them again? Worse than living this horrible lie? Would it not be a huge relief to let all this out in the open? To finally let everyone know that Riva's gone, to grieve with your children like you should have done in the first place.
That's exactly what I want. It is.
But, right? I hear a but there.
But we would end up doing our grieving on national television.
Come on, Josh. Come on, it would blow over.
How many
Something
times
else would happen.
have you and I gone over this, huh?
lost count.
Yeah, well, believe me, it's not been out of my mind, not for 1 second.
I know that. But if you told the truth...
If I tell the truth... Okay, I'll tell you what. I believe that I would be able to handle the results of that. I would be able to handle the ridicule, the people staring at me, thinking of me as somebody who tried to play God, or without any kind of morals at all. In fact, I'll even go a step further. I believe that as a family, we would be able to handle it. We would find the strength to recover from that.
I know we could.
But that's not going to help that woman up there. She deserves a life of her own, a life that I'm responsible for, not you, not Michael, me. Now, if the truth comes out, they'll brand her, Cassie. I'll use her word. They'll call her a freak. She'll become a scientific experiment that people want to look at and examine, and that they'll be afraid of. I can't let that happen.
Josh, come on. You've done everything humanly possible to help her.
When she was still a teenager, I tried to stop all of this. I wanted her to have a life of her own then. And I told her that, but she continued to take that growth formula. She chose to do that, and then it was too late.
That wasn't your fault.
It was my fault. She did it because she loved me. She did it because she wanted to be more like Riva. She did it for me, so I owe her. I owe it to her to try my best to stop. Cassie, if the truth comes out, she will be devoured by the media. They're going to eat her alive. She'll have less of a life than she has now, which is really no life at all. If I don't try to turn this around, if I don't do everything I can, then I'm not going to like Josh Lewis very much. Because once again, I will have caused incredible pain. And I'm not about to let that happen.
Yourself, Riva. Because you don't know what's going on out there. You don't know what Joshua was thinking or what she's thinking. I've always known what you were thinking, though. Same as you knew about me. But now I don't have any idea. That's what's hard. It's feeling so disconnected, like I don't even know you anymore. And that hurts, being distant. Haven't you found the clues yet? The ring? No, because if you had, you would have forced her to tell you the truth, and you would have been here, banging that door down. But you're not. You're with her. Someone who looks exactly like me. But she's not me. Can't you see that? I see it. Why can't you see it? Why are you still with her? Why are you with her? You talk to her. You touch her. How can you do that? Just get rid of her. No, you can't. Because if you get rid of her, then I lose the only person who knows that I'm alive. And I'll die in here.
Griff, our daughter at home has been going through a very rough time. If you don't mind, we'd like to get back to her.
I mind very much. Carl Stevens minds very much. No one's going anywhere just yet. I'm going to advise the Bar Association to investigate you for misconduct.
Hang on. I told you there was no misconduct.
I heard what you said, Philip. It was a very touching story.
It wasn't a story. It was the truth.
But I'm not a fool. I don't know what's going on between you and Miss Raines, and frankly, I don't care. But what I do know is I don't believe one word of that performance you just gave.
Griffin.
I can't prove it at this moment, but my gut instinct tells me, which usually serves me well, that Miss Raines did indeed sleep with Mr. Warren. And you know she did.
Well, I told you, I thought that it happened, but now that
Miss Raines, I'm sorry, but the deal Mr. Warren offered you is, at least for now, null and void. I'll have someone else in the office investigate